Songs with scary meanings, part 3. Ring Around the Rosie. It's not actually about frolicking around a rose bush, but about the plague that killed 75 to 200 million people in the mid-1300s. The symptoms of contracting the plague included a red rash in the shape of a ring on the skin, as well as sneezing. Pocketful of Posies refers to how people would fill up their pockets with sweet-smelling items to cover up the perpetual stench of death, and also some of them were convinced that the illness spread through bad smells. Well, that ruined the song for me. Follow the next song.
These are things around your house that can kill you, part 2. Up first are air conditioners. Air conditioners can be a major blessing on a hot summer day, but if it's leaking, you're in trouble. A leaking AC unit can cause refrigerant poisoning, which can lead to heart palpitations, seizures, and cut off oxygen to your lungs and cells, which can ultimately result in your death. This is actually scary, and now I'm afraid of air conditioners. Next up is an indoor pool. For everyone that wants an indoor pool when they're older, this might make you reconsider it. Swimming in indoor pools can expose you to chemicals that may increase the risk of cancer. So when you're older and you're rich, and you want to buy something cool for your house, make sure it's not an indoor pool.
This town is so haunted they had to permanently close it to the public. This is Dudleytown, Connecticut. Dudleytown, Connecticut is a haunted, abandoned town in Cornwall, Connecticut, and has a creepy history. Visitors who have explored there say that once they enter, it's otherworldly in there. Creepy. First of all, it's reportedly completely silent. You can't hear birds, animals, bugs, nothing. A researcher compared entering the heart of Dudleytown to standing inside a recording studio booth. Another common complaint from visitors is that a lot of the photos they take in Dudleytown won't develop, but as soon as they leave, their cameras will work just fine. Which makes sense, as I had a really hard time finding really any photos of Dudleytown when I was researching. The creepy legend of the town is years ago, the Dudley family fled to the US after one of their family members was taken care of after plotting against King Henry VIII. They settled in Connecticut and the bad luck followed. Residents of Dudleytown began suffering a series of devastating crop failures and mental illness was rampant in the village. There were countless mysterious disappearances within the village and all-around chaos overwhelmed Dudleytown. By the early 1900s, it was completely abandoned. For fans of the Conjuring films based on paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, the two visited Dudleytown and outright declared that it was extremely haunted and controlled by something terrifying. Investigators agreed that Dudleytown is some kind of a portal. But here's where it goes from spooky to downright bizarre. The owners, the Dark Entry Forest Association, closed Dudleytown to the public and don't do anything to dispel the rumors. In fact, they refuse to be interviewed for the most part, and the owners go to great lengths to conceal their identities. On top of that, if you are caught trespassing in Dudleytown, you will be heavily prosecuted. This is so strange to me. We see so many other ghost towns around the world, and usually they keep these places open for tourism. You know, profit off the history and the spookiness. But for some reason, this association wants to keep people out of Dudleytown altogether. A paranormal researcher said there's some kind of secret that they are keeping there, and they want people to stay out. What are your thoughts? This has been requested a couple times. Has anyone ever been? Or are there any towns by you that you find to be really creepy?